Labdien visiem! Hello to everyone watching this webinar from Lithuania, Poland, and other countries. Guten Tag, René and David.
Hello.
Guten Tag. Hello.
Thanks everybody for joining.
Mani sauc Viktors, esmu Info Latvijas tehniskais speciālists, un mēs šodien esam diezgan kuplā skaitā sanākuši uz hsbcad programmatūras webināru. My name is Viktors, I work at Info Latvija, and today we are here for the hsbcad webinar. Tā kā šīs dienas webinārā jūs ar hsbcad programmatūru iepazīstinās speciālisti no Vācijas, kā arī publikums šodien ir internacionāli. Webinārs notiks angļu valodā. Now I will switch only to English because today's speakers are from Germany and we have international audience. I will quickly tell about us, Info Latvija, and then I will give you the floor to René and David. So, Info Latvija is a part of Info Group, and for more than 10 years we have been in Latvian market. Here you can see the services we offer, such as selling software licenses, providing training on how to use them, and more. So we are very happy to announce that since the last year, we have started cooperation with hsbcad, and we're their official partners in Latvia and Lithuania. So now, René, I'll give the word to you, and you can start to share your screen.
I was mute. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, Victor. Thank you for your introduction. And welcome everybody to our first webinar with Info. Before we start with the webinar, also some words to myself and my colleague. I'm René Strack. My part is the business development at hsbcad, and I'm joined hsbcad in August 2014, and I'm now around about 10 years at hsbcad, and that's what I'm doing. I'm responsible for the reseller market, for example, so I'm in a very close contact, for example, with the colleagues from Info, and that's why we are also here part of the webinar. The other one from us, it's David. I know, maybe David, you want to introduce yourself? Some words.
So hello, my name is David Weizsäcker. I work as a sales specialist in hsbcad. So my profession is a carpenter, and I joined hsbcad in December 2021.
Right. Today, we want to inform you about hsbcad. So hsbcad is the company behind our solutions, HSB Design, Make, and Share. And we will start with a short PowerPoint presentation from our side. After the presentation, we will make a jump to our HSB Design solution for AutoCAD architecture. This is what I want to do and what I present and show you. And after then, we make a jump to my colleague, to David. David will present you our solution based on Autodesk Revit. And we want to give you a short, small overview over our solution, which is called an HSB Make for your design process. hsbcad was founded 1988 in Ghent, in Belgium. The founder and already our CEO, Carl Wink here, started with a small office in Belgium, and now we have more offices around the world, like our office in Germany. We have colleagues in the Netherlands, in the US market, in the UK market, Canada, Ecuador, Japan, and Australia. In total, we are around about 75 colleagues at the moment, and we support 4,500 hsbcad installations worldwide. over our own offices, we work with different partners and resellers like Infoera, which is responsible for Latvia, for Lithuania. We have also a partnership with the colleagues from Infoera, it's AutoCAD in Estonia. We have partner in Italy, Slovenia, Sweden, Norway, Poland, Denmark, Bulgaria, South Korea, and New Zealand at the moment. And yeah, if you know different partners, we are open for more partnerships, so please feel free to contact us. Infoera is the same what Victor was saying, signed his reseller contract in 2023 and is responsible for the Latvian market. In the beginning of this year, we talk about the market in Lithuania, and Infoera is also responsible for the market there and is your partner for general questions about hsbcad, is your contact partner for consulting, training, and offers, and anything else all around hsbcad. What I saying before is a lot of people talk about hsbcad if we talk about the software. But if we talk about hsbcad, normally we talk about the company, and our software are different packages. It is HSB design, make, and share. The idea behind them is, first of all, you design something, then you make it, and then you share it with all your stakeholders. HSB design is working on two different platforms. One of these platforms is the AutoCAD architecture platform from Autodesk, and our newest product is our solution for the Revit platform. Make is our own development for the production, and share is also our own development to share the data and information with all stakeholders. Yeah, this is what I'm explaining before. In design, this is the platform for Revit and AutoCAD. Make is for manufacturing, and share for the assembly part to optimize your work on site, and you can share it with all partners, suppliers, and stakeholders around the projects. For every module package, we have different tool sets. This is something what we will show you later in live when we go into ACA or Revit. In general, hsbcad have different solutions. One solution is for the carpentry, the other one for the prefab wooden houses, timber houses industry. Here's also a small overview over our existing customers. We offer solutions for the timber engineering, and then also very important market for us is the CLT market. A lot of CLT producers around the world working with hsbcad. It's a very good benefit for our customers, which are also working with CLT. Then the export and import from data is very easy and very simple. So you can use a lot of tools from the producer, and it makes very easy and very fast. Here's also a small overview over our reference customers in case of CLT. And this is also our small overview in general. Our idea was to create not so big PowerPoint. We will spend more time in AutoCAD and in Revit. Some slides about Make, also more general overview. Make is our solution to handle your whole production. From the workflow, I think for the most of you, is it so you start from zero with your own project, or maybe you get a project from your architect. The data from the architect or your own project, you can import it to HSB design, and from design, we have an interface to Make, and we will send it to Make. And in Make, we can handle your whole process in your production. We have different tables. You see it on the right side. We have different tables in a production. If we talk about the table and make, we call it client. So for every table, you have a client. And in every client, you have the option to handle your tables. For example, in the first station table client, you cut all your beams for your project, and you will send it to the other tables where you have maybe the framing, or you will add some window modules. In another table, you put all together. And in the next tables, you have the first sheet layers, the second layer, maybe you have to flip the wall. And this is all what you can, this can you all manage in Make. Make has a very big potential. In Make, it is we use different clients. We have loading clients, we have module clients, nesting clients. You can use the clients for your quality management. You can use clients to create CNC files and data, manage them. And you can use a client also as a PDF or DVF viewer. From Make, we have two solutions. The big one, the server Make, and the small one, the Make Lite. And Make Lite is also something what we want to present you later. And what we want to show you is the HSB Make viewer client. In the client, viewer client, you have also a lot of options. You have checklist, you have the 3D model, you can check different sheet zones, and your colleagues in the production can use the client also. And if they use, for example, this client, for you it is not important anymore to print any plans or drawings on paper, so you can produce everything paperless. As last page is also a small overview about some reference customers which are using at the moment HSB Make. Yes. And these are some slides from our side. Before we go into the ACA presentation now, have anyone any questions at the moment? Okay, good. Nobody any questions? Then I will jump to ACA. So. Can everyone see the ACA screen?
So we can see the screen, René.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah. What do we see? We see the ACA. Maybe one of you have already some experience in AutoCAD or here in AutoCAD architecture. And what you see is the complete AutoCAD architecture. The ribbons, the commands is all the same. You can use it with your experience, what you have in AutoCAD, then it is AutoCAD. What we do with our plugin hsbcad is we have our own ribbon here on the right side where we can find and use the AutoCAD, the ArchiCAD, the hsbcad commands. I will show you a little bit how you can work with hsbcad and AutoCAD. And my idea was to create with you a small house as example. I think for the most of you, this is often the same. We will start from 0, and I will create a ground plan for our house. And I will start on 0, 0. Now, I need it here, here, And we will close the polyline. This is how it looks like if we create our ground plan in the first step. And in the second step, I will add some walls. In the background, we have a HSB wall library. We go to wall, create a wall, and it comes this window. In this window, we see 3 wall types, but these 3 wall types are only an example from our side. So if you will use hsbcad, you will have the wall detail builder in the background, which allows you to create your own wall styles. You can create all of that what you need. And I will add this wall, and we'll start also from 0. Show you how easy it is. Left side. Now I will walk around with my walls. This wall, this, and I will close. Now I create the walls in the first floor. I will add 1 wall more. Okay. This side to that point to this side. So now we have different walls. This walls knows already, okay, I'm a hsbcad stick frame wall, and we start from 0. If you get a drawing, for example, from an architect, which is using also AutoCAD architecture, it's no problem. So you don't have to start from 0. You can use also the walls from an architect. I create here on the right an example. It's the same ground floor. What we have here is a standard AutoCAD architecture wall. And at the moment, this walls doesn't know, okay, what kind of wall I am. Maybe I'm a brick wall or I'm a stick frame wall. Nobody knows. We can add the wall information also on existing walls. For this, I activate these walls, from example, from the architect. I make a right click, add hsbcad data. I will add this type of wall. Okay. Okay. And now you see you get the same view like here. And now we add all data from hsbcad to the wall. As example, I can calculate this wall direct, and what I get is a finished stick frame wall. It will work also if, example, the architect adds some openings like windows. I will add some openings here and there. All the information, what kind of wall it is, openings information is in the background in the wall detail builder, and the walls knows how it has to look like. I will view from the top again. That's only as example. I will delete this and I will go back to our module. In our module, I want to add also some openings. Something in the middle. I have a window, here, there, and I will add also a door. Here, open this there. All right. So now we have created our walls, our standard walls, which have the hsbcad information in the background. We add some openings, and in the next step, if I mean that I'm done, I can go on wall elements. You see on the ground, every element have its own icon with its own information. Every element have its own element number. For example, here it's element A2, it's element A3. This and this. And also right click, calculate element, and we start the calculation. This information comes also from the wall library in the background. You see here, after a calculation, all corner connections, all openings around like a window. Everything is done and calculated. Next is, I will make it easy. I will copy the polyline from here to there. And the second step, I want to show you how easy it is to create a floor. For example, in this case, with CLT. It's also, I go to our ribbon, CLT. I told HSB I want to create CLT sheets, and it comes this window. Here ask HSB, okay, what kind of CLT sheet want you create? Say we can create a 180 millimeters. Okay. So again, I add the polyline. Yes, the polyline is closed. Right click, and I will create the sheets from this to this direction. And in this moment, it is also created. To work or create CLT sheets or panels, it's very easy. Then it's also a benefit that we have a lot of CLT customers and also a lot of CLT producers. So the most of them creates his own templates. And if you have a producer and you want to order some there and there is using also hsbcad, the most of them deliver templates, which includes all information about CLT. So the height, the size, options to connect the CLT panels. And for you, it's very simple to use it, and you can use the template. As next step, we have created a floor with CLT, but maybe we need some openings for any pipes or for stairs. It's also very nice. So we'll go to, I will use now, for example, a standard AutoCAD command. I will create some openings in the corner of 100 millimeters. Example, we need an opening here in the corner. I will copy them. Maybe we need also an opening here in the middle. And maybe we need an opening here in the corner. Maybe over 2 sheets. We need an opening for a stair. I create this here with the standard AutoCAD commands, the circle or the openings. And now I can activate my panels, CLT panels. This one, this also. Right click. Now I can say I want to add openings. Command here. And then I activate with a left click the openings. With a right click, I say right. I will add openings. Then they calculate it. You see it, for example, here the line is cutted. And now all our openings are in the CLT sheets. So, this. So we have a ground floor. We have a floor here. And now what we need is a roof. For a roof, we can use also our walls. We have different options to create a roof. For example, I will open it. First of all, we have to add an icon. For say our roof, for example, have 35 degrees. The gap is 500 millimeters, and I will measure the height in the wall again. It is from 0 to here. All right. Polyline. Like the roof icon, and in the next step, hsbcad calculate the roof for the house. Now I can add the icons here. Click this one, and this is the right click. There is no angle here. Yep. So, and it is done. First view. In the last step, we will add some beams to our roof. Start with the standard beams. I add the roof, then I add my information, what kind of beams I have. And then it's the same like with the wall. I click the first point, and then I'll walk around the roof. And then it creates automatically the beams. To here. To here. First step. The next step, you will add the hip and the valley rafter. I activate 2 hoop sides. I say yes. You see it automatically if it's a hip or a valley rafter. And I will add the beams. No. First beams, and also 2 types. Okay. Here also, and with these steps, it is very hard for us to create walls and the roof, openings, the CLT stuff. No. And everyone see here. The wall elements, something what we can see also in the layout. So everything here. Yeah. So what our walls also, everything is done for the layouts in the background. So now we have an option, we can print the layouts, or if this is something what we also can send to make, for example, if we want to produce paperless. And yeah, from my side, was this a small overview about how is hsbcad working in AutoCAD architecture. We have also the option to add different connections like Simpson Strong Tie or Word, Sherpa. We can add different tools for beams and sheets here. So there are a lot of options what we can add. We can create glue lamp beams. This is a different tool set what we have. So we have a lot of options for the wooden house industry and carpenters. And yeah, if you want more or any information about hsbcad based on AutoCAD, please feel free to contact us or our partner in your market, like Infoera, the team around Kiddles.
Okay, then I guess it's now time for my Revit presentation, right, René?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will share my screen now. So yeah, hello again from my side. Again, I will show you today our HSB design for Revit solution. So what you just saw was the AutoCAD application we have, but now we move directly to Revit. And as you can see here, we have 100% plugin or 100% application inside Revit. So you see I'm here in the native Revit environment. I have here my structural ribbon, my architectural ribbon, my structural ribbon, all in all. Do you see my screen at the moment?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay, I was not sure. Perfect. The strong side of Revit is, despite being an architectural design software, you also can design steel components. You also can design MEP connections. But what's currently not possible in Revit is creating a timber or timber frame constructions. For that, hsbcad developed its HSB design platform. And with that, we can here create stick framing inside Revit. So everywhere where HSB stands in front, there are timber functionalities behind. Yeah, so today I want to show you how we get from this architectural model to a complete timber framed house. After that, we will create layouts and as well export then to different CNC interface to different CNC files, for example, to BTL and Hundecker Cambium or BVX. And last but not least, I will show you our paperless HSB clients for your timber frame factory. Great. Okay. So what you can see here in here my 3D architectural is that we use here native Revit walls, native Revit windows, native Revit roofs, and native Revit floors. I will now show them here inside this structural model. I will, for example, show you the walls. And we also created here hsbcad console, which is a second filtering tool. So I turn everything off and I just show you our ground floor. And if I here click on our item containers and, for example, remove the construction, you see here the construction is deleted. I also can regenerate here the construction and automatically the walls will be framed. As you can see here in the loading bar. Of course, these walls are framed on certain rules. These rules are defined in our framing style editor. The framing style editor is actually a library where you can set the rules how walls, floors, and roofs are generated. So you can see here in the framing styles, I created different kind of groups and I put different kind of objects like a wall, a floor, or a roof inside these groups. We'll come back to the groups later. In this tab here, in the inventory, I add beams and sheet families, structural framing beam and sheet families to these names. And after that, I can then use these beams and names inside my construction here. So you have here a small overview of the wall. And if I'm adding a zone, we call the different layers of a timber frame wall zones, then they will be added to their construction. All these zones have zone fillers, and all these zone fillers have different parameters we can set up here. So for the patterns, for example, I have different parameters than, for example, for the sheets. For the sheets, I have then again different parameters I can set up. After we set up all the walls, the floors, the roofs, we can then create edge details. So this is actually like a view, like we would stand in front of the wall, and then you have different connection points at a wall. So for example, you have the bottom, you have the top, you have open ends to the left, to the right, and you have as well angled details. All these details can be manipulated. We can go in here, we can add extra beams, for example, we can rotate the beams, and we can use our anchor function to make these details parametric. So it's not only to use these details for one wall, you can then use these details for every wall, not depending on, for example, the size of the structural loading beams or of the sheets. Can as well add some tools like milling, cut, sheet cuts, and drills. And we can define, for example, the core layer. So this will show then how far, for example, the studs are going. I will click cancel here because I want to keep my already existing detail and then show you the connections. Here now the groups I mentioned earlier are now taking account. So here you can now create connections between groups. So you see I created here one wall group and one wall group. So now I'm in the wall-to-wall connection. So I have now, from this kind of connection, 4 connection possibilities I can manipulate. So I click here on this pen, and then you already see I'm back in this dialog I was before, where I can add beams, add millings, define the core layer, and so on. But we cannot do just connections between wall to walls. We also can do connections between floor to walls, floor to floors, roof to roofs, and wall to floors, wall to roofs, sorry. You can see here we have for all these connection details, different kind of connection options where we can, which we can manipulate, sorry. At last, we have here the opening tab where we can create opening details for your openings, windows, doors in your model. So we have here again the sketch at which we had in the framing styles earlier. So you stand in front of the wall and then you have different connection points around the window. And we can all manipulate them again with this pen, go in here and use the same functions. So when we have set up our framing style editor, our internal library, we can go back to the model and generate the construction. This framing style editor, of course, you just have to do once. You don't have to do it every time. In our ribbon HSB general, you can import and export framing styles as you want. And of course, you can put the framing style editor in your template drawing and have them always available in your drawing. As you can see here, I also inserted pipes. So these pipes are, one moment, system parts like MEP parts. and we can also create interactions between these pipes and our walls. I will quickly hide the Revit walls again so that we just see the timber frame construction. And then now I will add these pipe to that wall, or a hole to that wall. So well, here I'm opening the vent command, and you see here now I have different parameters I can set up again. You can click here to the right, and maybe you're already one of our customers, then you know that from our ACA solution. Here everything is explained, so every parameter has an explanation visual available. So now I select the item container, for example, and select the duct. And now I click escape. And when I reframe the construction here, then you will see that this pipe will be at beams around and will be cut out. All the beams we are generating, if I click on the beam, are separate families. So these are all structural framing families, which can do the same what you know from Revit structural framing families, but we add here some project parameters. So every beam knows that it belongs to a certain wall. As you can see here, this beam belongs to this certain wall. With our console, we also have the possibility to hop on directly onto a wall. And not just the wall is add here. We also create the work plane that you can easily and smooth work inside here. And for example, easily move beams and so on. So can, for example, manipulate. We can change the beam type to whatever requirement. For example, I change that beam. So every manual change will be recognized by our solution. So if I now, for example, do a regenerate, our system, our persistent technology acknowledge the changes we did and will keep the knowledges. For example, if I move a window or a door, let's see, we have here the wall EV4. No, that was the wrong one. This one. And I now, for example, move the door. And when I now regenerate my construction, the beams around the door will be updated and moved to this place. Of course, we add here as well some connectors, as you have seen in our ACA solution. So if we go here to the rotoblas connectors, I can set here the different types, for example, the WHT 440, and then I can add the connectors to different faces of my walls. Of course, we can also add beam cutouts. For example, this separated beam to a wall. For that, we have here the pocket command. For the pocket command, we select the item container and then select the beam. We have here again some parameters we can set up. Say just OK. And then we regenerate here our construction. And of course, we are in native Revit, so I always can work with Revit filters as well. So for example, if I hide all the beams, then you see this setup will create here separate beams, which are load bearing then for this beam. Of course, we can also do that for floors and for roofs. So we created, I already created some beams for the roof and for the floors. And this is the whole construction. So I will put on now again the visibility of all the elements. And after generating everything, you will see here the final project. Of course, we can also create shop drawings or wall layouts of every wall. For that, I go to HSB output and create a wall container, a shop drawing. And then I create here a shop drawing. Actually, this now will create different views and sections inside the Revit model. And they all will be added here to the project browser. So we are using, again, a native Revit function to create our wall layouts. So now I go here to Sheets, and I go here to the wall. That was the wrong one. I think that's the right one. And then you see here, maybe I turn that to an A2 drawing. And now you see here, everything is automatically shown, dimensioned, and displayed. What I recognize now, we forgot to number the project. That's not a big problem. I will just show you for the ground floor. For that, we have here the create posnum. So create a number tab. And as you can see here at the moment, all our beams have the value -1. So -1 means the parameter means that our beams are not dimensioned, are not numbered. Sorry. So we can use here the command create, select every object and then create numbers. After doing that, if I click again on the beam, you see now the beam is getting posnum. So now it's the beam 59. And if we are now going back to our layout drawing, all the beams get a number in the drawing. Okay, so after we created the whole project, of course, we can export it to different kind of CNC files. So we can use here our hsbcad exporter. It's actually the same we use in ACA. So it's proven and pretty advanced exporter. I have set up here some different kind of exports. And after I run these export, I then have my whole project here, for example, available inside the BTL viewer. So inside BTL, so every wall separated, every layer separated, every zone separated, and with all the commands ready to be cut. Of course, we can do that for all common CNC exports. So as well, we can do it here for the Handecker BVX. So all my beams, for example, in this case, are then available inside Cambium BVX. Last but not least, we can do with our exporter as well our paperless shop drawings. So if I click here on load in, I will just load the walls we just created into our paperless shop drawings. This is just be done with one export, and then you have every wall available, as you could see here already. So all my walls are now inside that folder. The advantage of that is we have here a list function. So for example, if the worker founds the beam, I don't know, 34, for example, he can click here on the beam and these beams will be highlighted then here in this view. Good thing is it's also good for older workers because they can zoom in, zoom out, you can move around, and every dimension is automatically created. We can create different kind of views in here. So for example, the top view again with the list function, the side view again with the list function, different zones again with the list function. And of course, we have here what René already mentioned, a checklist and our 3D viewer, where if you have different complex construction, for example, you can zoom around, you can zoom in, you can as well use our measure tool to find measurements which are probably not in the front view. You can highlight zones, you can add zones, and further. Last but not least, I would like you to invite to our hsbcad.com website. So we have here further information about all our tools, sets, our applications, and our solutions. We have here as well a free trial. You can find it under solutions as well. If you go here to free trials, you can download the free trial here for free. You just go to request a trial, fill in your request and submit the request. Then you will get automatically a 30 days trial license available. I see there are some questions in the chat. I'm now checking them and see which I can answer. One moment. So one question is, do HSB has a tool for a quick cutout detailed of random timber element? I guess this is a question for Revit. So we have here in our HSB timber, we have different tools available to manipulate our construction. So we have here the box cut tool, for example, where we can create a rectangular box cut. We have here an arc tool where we can create an arc, multi-cut, so cut multiple beams at one location. And we have as well our famous beam cut where we can do male-female beam subtraction. So do you have maybe some more questions regarding Revit? Here's one other question. Yep, the trial is the full program. So you have access to all our design tools. you don't get access to our CNC interfaces. For that, you have to write us a direct request, and then we can see which CNC files we can make available for you. Some further questions? Here's another question about internal lath patterns on external wall frame. So you mean, I don't know. So this kind of patterns you also can create on the inner side of the walls. That's not problem. That's no problem. You can create that with our framing style editor as you need it. And yes, this was recorded and will be available, will be set available from Infoera.
Yes, you'll see the recording on our YouTube channel, Infoera Latvia.
Okay, so now I will stop sharing my screen. Oh. Yes. So one more question was, can you do frame tolerance around the window? Yes, of course. That's possible. You can set up a tolerance inside the window family, or you can set up a tolerance inside our framing style editor in the opening tab. And yes, an export to IFC, of course, is possible. Thank you for your time. I will now stop my screen sharing.
That's it from your side, yes?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll share my screen. So yeah, yes, if you have any questions after this webinar, then you can contact me, Victor's, and then if I can, I'll answer you give you answers to these questions. But if not, then I'll pass them to our colleagues, David and Rene. So yeah, you'll get your answers. And thank you very much, David and Rene. These presentations.
Thanks you for inviting
Excellent.
us.
Yeah, thank you from me as well for inviting us, and thanks to the audience who joined today.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I hope to see you soon. And everyone else, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate, write to me. And have a nice day. So yeah, that's it. Yes?
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.